Tracy has been buying, selling, buying and selling with us. For how many properties have we bought and sold? So yeah, 3 properties, and we did about 4 real estate transactions in total so far. Yeah. So when did you like start thinking about buying real estate, T?
I bought my first house when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I noticed that I had a whole bunch of money coming in from my job at the time.
Your bonuses, your
Yeah.
taxes. That's what she's referring to. It wasn't like a windfall of like inheritance. It was just that plus her
Yeah.
savings that helped you
So my
buy.
effort, my effort in working hard, and then I'd get this bonus, and it started to accumulate in my bank account. And I said, okay, I'm going to put it to use. So
Yeah.
I knew from then, and that's when I bought my first house.
Amazing. And do you remember how much did you put down? 5%, 10%, 20%?
5% at the time.
Do you remember what the dollar amount was?
I don't remember the exact dollar amount, and I think my house was maybe about 199.
You guys
Or
listening,
100
guys?
or 220,000 something, and then 5% of that is what I had to put down.
And listen, it was a detached house, guys.
It was actually 23 years old. It was an old house. Learned a lot of lessons from that house. The
Okay,
basement
sorry,
leaked,
guys. Hold
everything.
on. Before she goes there, I did not know Tracy with the first house, okay? I did not
She
help her
always,
buy.
it's so funny. She was my rescue person. And to be honest, which is why Jasmine is my realtor for life, it's because she takes time to do this, to actually share knowledge. Because the thing with us is that it's preparation. That's all that it is. Like you could dream the dream, talk the talk. To her point, you could be in a rental situation for 10 years. And then when you do the math, you're like, why didn't I just buy, like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever? So the point is when you're prepared because you know, then it doesn't seem so mystical.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem so far-fetched. And I remember when I was buying my first house at 19, a lot of my peers said, you can't buy a house. What are you trying to do? And then I'm like, no, I'm going to buy this house. And then after I bought the house, they're like, let's see how long you're going to keep it. And then I said, oh, no, I'm going to keep it. And Jasmine is sharing what I didn't know for my first house, which is budgeting. Those things would have made things easier. I would have slept better because I'd have known where my money's going, how am I spending it, what am I paying
Her
for.
realtor didn't do that. Like I said, I was on a rescue mission.
Well, I'll tell you, when she did my rescue mission, I was about to have my son. And one of the things that Jasmine did that sold me immediately, she's very tall. And I wasn't in heels because I was really, really pregnant.
Like she was
And
couldn't cross her legs. Pregnant, okay, guys?
and when she came and she was talking to me about real estate, she was in my house. And she went and she sat on the ground in front of me. And she was in a servant position. She was ready to serve. And I'll tell you this, guys, what I didn't realize is how much I was missing from my first realtor because it was just about closing the house, about buy, 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 buy. And they didn't care about what happened after they're gone and you move in, right? And the roof needs to be repaired and you have no budget because you have no money. And the basement starts to leak and you have no budget in place and you don't have any money. What happens next? But I'll tell you, my house that she bought for me, exactly what she walked you guys through, it's so magical. About asking you what you like, about listening to your needs, about knowing what you need and what's going to serve you and be good for you, not just putting you in something and then turning her back and then you suffer the consequences. It's a worse thing to be stronghold and stifled and you cannot sleep peacefully in your own house that you buy.
She's saying that because at 19, being a homeowner, she experienced how many floods in your basement?
So I didn't even remember I had to cut the lawn. And my neighbors started to look at me bad because my grass was here. And I'm like, holy crap, I need a lawnmower and I need to know how to turn it on.
Yeah. How many times did you fix your basement, babe?
4 times.
4 times she had to repair her basement.
Yeah.
So at a home inspection, we know our inspectors are meticulous. They're home builders. They know the ins and outs. They go through the whole process with you. And we budget for any repairs that come up in their findings. So 4 times she had to fix the inspection. So by the time I met Tracy and I was referred to her by her mother, and that's how I met her. So when I came to her, she's like, get me out of this house. I don't want anything old like this house again. And we found her
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
And
that
we-
was my rule. I want a 5-year-old baby. I want to go into that house. I was laughing because when she moves very quickly and I love it. And she's on top of stuff because she reads and she's aware of what's happening. So I don't have to know these things. But I could just trust her that she does and that she's going to steer me in the right direction. So when we bought into that house, how is it that she got everything that I wanted? And how did she also get what she knew I needed? And she said 6 years. She said 5 years, 5-year plan.
Yep.
You're going to make money on this house and then we're going to take you, wherever. And I stayed 6. And then we bought the house that I'm in now.
We sold and bought.
Sold
So
and bought.
yeah. So
It's starting somewhere and then having a plan. That's the
mhm,
key. And even though I talk the way I talk about my first house, we end up fixing it. So
mhm,
when you sold it, you did right by the person who bought it.
yeah,
So even her integrity about getting the house ready to release it to somebody else because her name is attached to it.
yeah,
I drive by that house all the time and it's so gorgeous. They kept a lot of the things that
yeah.
we did,
Amazing.
so
Yeah.
I still feel good about the way we walked away from that situation
And
to
into
go
the
into
new
the
one.
new one. Yeah.
So going into the new one, and how much money did you spend, or how much repairs, or how many upgrades did
Not
you?
a lot at all. We didn't need to do much because that's you knew I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna do that. You knew me
There was
very
it
well.
wasn't in the budget.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I
in the
wasn't gonna do
budget.
that. No.
So she actually did nothing. She painted nothing. She moved in and then we sold it 6 years later and she bought another property and that's how she's now leveled up in real estate.
And the thing is, even though my other property is smaller, my mortgage situation is better. So the plan is so key, and you can't be short sighted. Like when Jasmine says she's building legacy, I love that too because she's actually doing it, guys, right? So you may start in a rough house that's like 30 years old at the time we sold it,
Or 400 square foot condos,
or
500 square foot.
whatever.
Might not be
Yeah,
the ideal house, but you got to start somewhere and get into the market, guys.
exactly.
So we're not starting with $1 million house.
No.
My first house was in Whitby, and I moved to Whitby when everybody was like, "Where the hell is Whitby?" And there was no lights on in Whitby, and there was nobody that looked like me in Whitby, and they're wondering what the hell am I doing there. And then I moved to Ajax, and then I just keep on moving, and that's the plan that we help you with. Whatever your plan is, we'll help you and show you the game plan to get to your real estate freedom.
Can I say something else about my new house? So
Don't worry, you'll be talking like her too, guys.
so my new
Well,
house now was my first new construction. Very scary, guys.
Okay, sorry. So she bought 2 resale properties, sold twice, and now she's on to a new construction. This client was like, I don't want a resale house. I want a new construction.
Okay.
I went through the pros and cons of new construction.
Do you know why I could jump off that building? Because I had Jasmine Lee, okay? So I knew that I was in good hands. And boy, did I ever have a newfound appreciation for having a strong real estate team to support me through that process. Again, I'm still single.
Yeah.
I had to find, pick things on so many floors. At one point, I was so confused. I told the lady, I don't care what tile you put, just choose something. Because just the amount, the overwhelming and keeping up with, what are my rights? It took us 3 years to get into that house. And what Jasmine did for me, again, Jasmine, beautiful at the end, I was about to take my whole nose off to spite my entire face. I hope you guys caught that. Do you need me to say it again? I was about to. Okay. And really, what happened is the builder made me wait so long, and I was so mad at the builder. I wanted to punish the builder, and I was about to back out of my sale because I had the right to do so. So I was about to exercise my right to just say, give me my money back, give me my top up because I know you owe me this, and walk away from the deal. But Jasmine, very gently, she says, okay, honey, we're going to look at some houses in your area. So what she wanted me to see was the value in a house I've never walked into. This was all on paper. So she was able to show me comparables. And I'm so glad that I kept it because I have equity in the house. I would have walked away from all of that. So really, I waited 3 years while equity was building and I was palavering and spending my money because I didn't have a mortgage at the time, but I didn't connect to that, right? So anxiety would have taken me over if I didn't have her to level my head with the knowledge that she knew.
Thank you. Wow.
Right?
Thank you.
And now I'm loving my house.